Hello everyone, this is CJ Novo 992 and today we're back for another brand new video. A brand new video that comes to us after what, a near 2 week break since me and thee got to sit here and talk about football. It was far too long, people, but we had to get through the international break and we have done. So go ahead and give yourselves a round of applause. We are through the other end and the real football is now back. But it has to be said that the international break probably came at a good time for our football club in terms of how we were playing, where players were in terms of their fitness. But aye, it's all back now and it couldn't get back in a tougher way as we face a trip to Tynecastle. And as it has been so long since me and thee got to sit here and talk about the football, let's not faff around here, let's just jump right in to the actual video. And as always, we'll start off with the oppositional preview and have a look in a bit more detail tomorrow's dance partner Hearts, who at my current time of recording are finding themselves sitting third in the old SPFL. That's right, people. Name something more consistent in world football than this Hearts side and sitting third in the table. Now, if you instantly thought of us conceding 3 headers to every single set piece and cross that comes into the box, that's a bit below the belt, but fair. So well done you. But anyway, people, let's talk about Hearts then, shall we? Again, they are sitting in third, and despite that being where I predicted them to be all season long, it's been a bit of a mixed bag, in all honesty. Despite Hearts getting a good write-up, and deservedly so, they've had some good performances, they have actually had some really poor ones as well, as they actually come into this game versus Rangers having lost 3 of the last 5 domestic matches, including a very disappointing home 1-0 loss versus Kelly in the Cup, which for me was their worst overall performance of the season, and a performance I would like to see repeated tomorrow. But unfortunately for us all right here on the channel, I don't imagine they'll be as flat as they were on that fateful night. Now I imagine they'll come out guns blazing, looking to leave a marker down, especially fresh out of the international break, and especially after their most recent games of football as well. Because yes, when you stretch it back, it has been hit and miss for Hearts, but if you look at their 2 games leading into this match versus Rangers, they performed very well. They got a fantastic away win in the Europa Conference League, I believe it's called, with the RFS team. I like to call them refs just because the name that's actually there, but Hearts ended up getting a 2-0 win versus refs, if you will, with Wee Forest getting another goal for the Maroon side before their most recent game versus Motherwell away to Fir Park, which can be a difficult place to go. They had one of their, if not their best overall performance for me of the season, as they thumped Motherwell 3-0, and a game of football you might sit back and say, well, that was a bit one-sided, Motherwell must know have turned up, but actually, it was the exact opposite. It was an interesting game. Motherwell had 25 shots in the game, but I thought Hearts defended really well in the game and went forward with their clinical edge, with Forest getting another 2 goals. So that's why I say it's one of their best, if not their best, because it was a complete performance versus Hearts. So they couldn't have ended going into the international break any better than they played versus Motherwell. Now, regarding shape and how they go about their business, have they tweaked or changed anything? No, not really. They still line up the same way you're expecting a Hearts side today. 4-2-3-1 if you want, or a 4-5-1, whatever, but it is an attacking Hearts side that likes to get on the ball, that likes to put pressure on, and it likes to go after defensive lines. And for me, what they've done very well, and for me I give credit to the manager, because I don't know why, but loads of people just hate him from Hearts. I think he's doing a good job at Hearts, but again, I didn't eat, sleep and breathe the football club like they do, so I'm obviously missing other stuff. But from an outsider's perspective, looking at Robbie Nielsen, I think he's done very well to keep his structure and shape of what he wants to do, and just add wee pieces here or there just to improve it all the time. Again, it started with the likes of Barry Mackay and everything like that, and then they had Shanklin added in this season, and then Wee Forest, who we've already mentioned a couple times in today's video. I was very impressed with him at his time at Livingston, and we spoke about that in the league prediction video, and he's just in his own world right now at Hearts, performing very well. And for me, that's going to be an interesting spot in this game of football, because how he's playing, again, he's not a physical player or anything like that, but he's a little nuisance and he doesn't ever stop running. And the way we go about our business so far this season anyway, regarding the left side of our defence, especially Barisic, that is what he struggles with. It's not the physical players or anything like that, because he likes to get involved and everything like that. It's the tricky nuisance players that didn't stop running and it's got him turning and everything. So that could be a very interesting battle coming into this game, as he'll look to be another nuisance, as he has been all season. But another name that we already mentioned is, of course, Barry Mackay, who continues to build on his CV of good performances, especially for Hearts, since he's came back here and everything like that. There were some questions about him. For me, obviously, you know how I felt about him. I was fuming when we sold him for buttons, but it was almost the making of the laddie, because he needed to go away, he needed to bounce about a couple of places, and he needed to find a place that honestly felt like home, and he just took it to another level. And for me right now, based on form, everything, not just goals and assists or anything, but just how he plays, gets on the ball and everything like that, he is, for me, the best player outside the old firm in the Scottish football this season, and I genuinely believe that. So you've got him on one side and Forrest on another, so it should be a spicy occasion, but an occasion our defender should be more than capable of actually handling, because not only do you have hopefully the defensive issues down the left hand side fixed, as we've had a couple of weeks to work on it, maybe a returning Ben Davies as well, getting involved in there and stifling up that left hand side Rangers. But you've also got Tavernier, who again has been dealing with a knock the last couple of weeks, and everyone's had a couple of weeks off and is apparently fully fit and ready to go now as well. So hopefully those boosts will be enough to counter whatever Hearts throws our way. But that kind of saying, throws our way, is what I think this game is actually going to be, and it's going to be an interesting test for this Rangers side coming out at the international break, because Hearts, I feel like, is just going to come right at us right away. From that first whistle, they're going to explode out there like a bullet from a gun, people. They're going to get in our faces, they're going to try and put us in behind, they're not going to sit back and park the bus and everything, let us pass the ball and find our way into the game and sort of go in gear 2 like we have done a couple of times. No, they'll just be gone for us constantly. And again, with Forrest on one side and Mackay on the other, they like to get wide and they put the balls in the mixer. So it'll be an interesting battle, and for me, a very good test instead of the usual prodding and probing that we have versus part the bus sides. It should be an intense battle, and it's hopefully a battle that Rangers turn up to the game expecting. No, oh, I'm shocked that I'm under so much pressure. No, we need to meet them right here and hopefully put them to the sword. Right, that's all I've really got to say about this Hearts side coming into this game tomorrow, people. Despite wee mixes here, wee poor performances here, they've had more good results than bad results, and I'm fully expecting them to be at their best, and again looking every bit of the third best team in this league, because again, that's the type of challenge we have now. We are coming back from the international break versus the third best team in this league at their ground when they are fully confident. It doesn't get much tougher than that, people, but I'll be honest, I like that, because that right there actually leads me from where I'm thinking from a Rangers fan's perspective, right? Because yes, on paper this is a tough test, but this is exactly what we need to see if this team has what we think or hope that it actually has. It's a sink or swim game, this type of matchup, because we got through to the international break, you know, right? We weren't playing well towards it. I know it was tough to watch at some periods and nothing was really coming off. We were feeling sorry for ourselves in games, we were missing big chances, etc, etc. We were playing really slow, but we got the points. We got through the international break. We've got players back from injuries, and of course we got that massive boost from the Saints of Mirren versus Celtic when we were done and dusted with our feet up, not expecting anything to happen. And that right there for me is almost like a perfect little cauldron of what you sprinkle in to see a Rangers team come out and explode and show what they're actually capable of being. Name you're feeling sorry for themselves, name you're moaning and complaining with each other. You've got a massive boost there. I want to see a type of reaction as if you just saw Ivan Drago start to bleed for the first time. That's what I want to see for this Rangers team from the very first whistle. Just go out there and absolutely nail them and show a bit between those glorious teeth. And despite the doom and gloom that's around the place in that right now, for me, that's how I'm going into this game. I'm excited to see now, to see if this can boost us in the right direction and get us back to our best, because again, form is temporary and class is permanent, and you know some of these players that we have in this team is genuinely class, and it would be brilliant to see them respond and get a little bit of their old magic back and start putting teams to the sword again. And despite everyone talking this doing and they having a wee jokes here or there or anything about how tough and that's going, we've actually performed pretty well in the last couple of games at Tynecastle. So here's hoping we see another performance like that, and someone I'm expecting to see be involved in whether that goes well or not is Alfredo Morelos. And this is one of these cases where, again, everyone knows where I think the number 9 in terms of, if we're only playing one, I'd like it to be a Cholak. I'd like, because everyone says, but he doesn't run at the wing, he doesn't build up play like Morelos. Well, let the midfielders midfield. You know what I mean? Let them be the creators. Let's not have the striker have to do everyone's job for them. Let's have other people step up to the actual plate. But this is the type of game and the type of atmosphere that's just written in the stars for Alfredo Morelos, and especially with Tuesday coming, And obviously, with Liverpool challenge, we know Morelos is going to be starting in this game. And for me, I think it's quite clear as day that Alfredo will get his opportunity to at least sharpen his tools more in terms of game time versus Hearts. And again, he's the type of guy that could go into that atmosphere and really cause issues. So I'm expecting to see Alfredo Morelos. And aye, every part of me until now, when I post this video, read your comments, have a couple of laughs with yous until I see the starting 11 get tweeted out. And the more I will sit here and say, it'd be fantastic if we could actually see Alfredo and Čolak play together and go after teams. I'm going to live in that fantasy, people, but aye, I'm just hoping whatever we do down that right-hand side is actually some pace, because looking at this Hearts side, as good as our player Kingsley and that is, and he is a good player and I rate him very highly, set pieces are immaculate. He doesn't always do well versus players that run at him and cause issues in terms of pace. So it'd be great to see Arabi Matondo. It'd be even good to see, which I imagine we'll see, Scotty Wright running at him tomorrow, because that for me could cause Hearts problems and get us flipping the park. I'm not wanting to see wingers played out of position, or centre mids played out of position or that. Let's stop all that now. Everyone's fit, everyone's ready to go. Let's play them in the right position and go after them. And last thing I want to say about playing people in the position, I'd love to see Malik Tillman get played again centrally. For me, the last couple of games he's been flung on the right hand side and it started to go down this way. Put him back in his main position, not only because I think that's where he's the best, and for me he's our best centre attacking midfielder, just playing behind the striker, but this game is going to be all about crosses and who defends them better, because we know how we play, but so does Hearts do that. And you're talking about set pieces and everything like that, and despite working on it constantly and hearing all this stuff, we've only got like one player that can header a football. So I would love to see Malik Tillman not only on the end of some of our attacking corners and attacking crosses, but helping us out defensively, because he's one of very few in the Rangers team that can get up like a salmon and header a goddamn ball. But I sorry about my ramblings, people. I just wanted to tell you what I think and what I think's going to actually happen tomorrow to try and help you prepare for the actual game. But regarding team news and that, to finish up today's video, we did get some updates from Giovanni Van Bronckhorst in this week's press conference. We found out that Ben Davies is fully fit, he's ready to go and everything like that. Will we actually see a centre half play? That would be absolutely lovely, wouldn't it? Just imagine two centre halves playing, week in, week out. What a world that would be. But we also had a wee update about Ridvan. He's adapting, he's learning and everything like that about the new culture and getting involved and with his teammates and that. It was the kind of stuff we talked about in the last video, but it was good to know there's not an issue there. He's just adjusting to life in Scotland. That's why we've not seen too much of him. And also, unfortunately for everyone who's clicking on today's video, we have found out that Tom Lawrence is not available for the game tomorrow, and that is a bitter pill to swallow. I had everything crossed, people, through the entire international break that he would be able to play in the game, but the games came too soon for Tom Lawrence, so it's time for others to step up to the plate and perform. Speaking of stepping up to the plate, Kamal Roof, I know, didn't laugh at me, people, but I'm here to tell you again, and there's another progression in his line. He's involved in big parts of the sessions now. Big parts. Just tell us when he's back. Can somebody tell me when he's back? Because I've heard wee parts of sessions, big parts of sessions. It's like I'm on a child. Honestly, it's like I'm on a CBBS right now. I just need a proper update with a timescale. That would be lovely, man. I'm not hearing, he might be back soon, might be back later. Wee bits of sessions, big parts of sessions. Wednesday back, people. But aye, the update is he's moving in the right direction. Where that direction's gone, I don't know. But the rest of the team remains the same. Helander, Hadji, and of course, Suter are all out long term. Suter expected back after the World Cup, and you know the timeline for the rest. But thankfully no one else picked up any injuries or anything like that, so everyone's raring to go and ready to be unleashed versus Hearts. So that's all I've really got to say, people. We've looked at the opposition, we've had a little bit of a Rangers conversation, and I've given you an update regarding the team news. Now all that's left for me and thee today is try to predict away to Tynecastle. Good luck to every single person getting involved in the comments. And as I've just poked myself accidentally in the eye right there, can you just, I don't know if that's coming up in the camera, but like full on, I looked down, the finger came up. I don't know what happened, people, but aye, injury claim if anyone is watching. Has there been an accident at work? Anyone hit me up? But aye, I'm not going to go the channel favourite even though everything is screaming. That's what I tried to do. So it's everything in my head, and whatever, we'll leave it, people. Everyone's screaming 2-1 to me, but I just think Rangers 2, Hearts 0. Dare I say clean sheet? Doesn't feel nice, but I'm going to go for it, people. That's what I think. That's what I hope. Either way, I will see you tomorrow after game. Hopefully you enjoy your Friday. By the way, I do actually have something special dropping tonight over on the official Rangers YouTube channel. It was an incredible experience. Again, I'm going to talk more in detail. I'm going to have my own little video on that about it, but that's... I can't even put any words like this type of stuff and everything. It is all down to you guys tuning in, watching the videos, making the channel what it is, that an idiot like me can go and sit there and have a laugh with a couple of the players and play games and everything like that. You'd have probably seen it already on the channel, and I know it's no like the best vibes in that online, so I can imagine it's going to be pretty toxic and that towards me and that, but that happens, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very, very excited. I'm very proud of being able to do something like that. And again, I just wanted to take a brief second at today's video before I actually make my own video on it in a couple of days and really break it down, just to say thank you so much. I imagine there'll be some people clicking on this just because I've seen that one. Thank you for all the support over the years, ladies and gentlemen. Can't wait to go through more experiences, more adventures with you. But aye, the adventures start with 3 points tomorrow. That would be absolutely lovely. But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I've been CJ over 92. Thank you so much for watching, and bye.